So we're back at it, and hopefully we're getting even better over time with the voice because right now I'm just doing it on my AirPod Max. And if the voice isn't that great, I might change it. But for now, that is what we have to work with. But today I wanted to speak a little bit about something that has been a big, big part of my life that might actually been the biggest, most time consuming thing in my lifetime, especially as I turn to business. And that is actually feeling bad for what I actually wanted to do. I think a lot of people actually deal with this. I think a lot of people actually want to change the way that they do things to fit the masses and fit what is more common to think or to do. And I can just take me as an example. My mom is a nurse. My dad is a plumber. We don't really have that much or that many people that is big business or make a whole lot of money. And we grew up having everything that we needed, but not everything that we wanted, if it makes sense. So I don't remember us ever needing or not having food on the table. I never remember us not like sleeping without warm house or anything. I don't remember anything like that. I do remember that we were saving on water, on warm water. I remember that things didn't get fixed right away. I do remember that the food that we ate was a lot of the same food and a lot of more common food, rice, really things to fill you up. And been amazing. I never really thought about it, and I don't, and there's nothing really wrong about it either. And what I really love and really appreciate and really look up to in my family is that we are really, really close together. Um, but that also turns around and get back to me because my whole life, and especially when I started business, I think a lot of people get this feeling is that I felt so bad for so long for wanting to really, really commit on a huge mission in life. So, like being insanely ambitious, insanely committed to something. And I think it's really tough for a lot of people to wrap their head around that because it really needs for yourself to have some sort of greater mission or bigger saying or feeling about yourself. And I just always have that. And that also meant that many years of my life, I have this huge conflict of enjoying and loving a normal life, but also continuously feeling annoyed by myself, which really grew, especially as I got older, into me knowing that I didn't do everything that I could have. And for me, not really pushing the boundaries and eating shit, just to be completely honest, on some things to take my whole family and everyone around me to a whole different place just because I felt bad short term on committing to what I wanted. And what that meant for many years is that I didn't commit to either. So I wasn't I had many hours in the business. I also had many hours with the family, and I also had many hours doing everything else. And that just meant that I didn't really grow a whole lot or do all that in many of the areas, or more. I didn't do my full potential, I can always say. And I knew that. I knew that I also just didn't have the scope or the brain brain power at that time to also be sufficient at being capable to handle everything. Because in my head, I always had a huge stress tolerance. I never really been stressed, even though I had a shit ton of things around me, both personally and in business. Which meant that I was also in my brain or my mind thinking that I could do everything and still be 100% as a normal person would be in all of these areas, which I was. I was a good brother. I was an amazing family member. Did a lot of things for my family. I did even better in business than most people do. But I knew that I didn't commit to what I really wanted and what I could do. And I knew long term I could do even more for my family. And when I thought about it, I just kept every year and every year. I just knew that I did many things that sort of in the broader spectrum of things just ruined the way that I saw it. Because what happened was that over time I got irritated on myself because I couldn't get irritated on other people because I knew it was my mistake. It was my choice to do the things the way that I wanted them to do, which meant that I got more mad at myself. And I got more mad at myself without fixing the issues, which meant that I kept running in the same circle, just losing more and more energy because I used so much energy on so many things for so many people. And what ended up happening is that I took a 3 year 3 weeks trip at first. Um and I completely turned all my social media off, everything off. Told my family please not to contact me unless it was very important. And I had a deep sit through on everything in life. Like I mean everything. Like why was I mad at this? And I was also mad because then I used so much time on that and I was so committed on that. And then because I was so much filled up with hours in business and in personal life, then I could only focus on one thing in my personal life, which was business, which meant that my health and my training was declining. And why was that happening? And everything and what makes me happy, what do we want to do and how do we want to do it? And then afterward went through the business and really take a step back on all the things that I hadn't have the bandwidth to have. And I just figured that I did so many things wrong or not how I wanted to live because the lifestyle before was something that I think most people would strive for. It's just it just wasn't the way that I wanted to live. I wanted quality, not quantity. I wanted when we were together to be 100% together, 100% involved. I didn't want to drink every day, but when I went out for drinking, I wanted it to be all in with my best friends, with people I wanted to enjoy time with. And right now, most things in my life was just quantity over quality. The food, the training, and everything was moving forward, just not in a straightforward path. And I can just say after those 3 weeks, I came back like a fucking explosion, like a huge fucking explosion. I went through everything in my life. I cleaned everything up, completely different person after I got back. and all the outstanding things I had, I stopped them, and then I made rules for myself not to get back into the same rhythm. And one of those rhythms for me, for example, was to say yes to many things and yes to many people because I knew I could help them even though I shouldn't. Um, and the same thing happened in business as well. Just because I knew I could do something didn't mean I have to do. And another employee or another setup could do it. And I just made a bunch of different rules, wrote them down, said what would be my personal day for me, best day is to do some physical activity once a day, do something on the business most of the day, and eating dinner with my family or with friends. And when I say work, that could also be everything related to that building, meeting people, pop up shop, everything in regards to that. And I think also that's why it felt so big with me because business is for me a way of life, and to build and structure and model the way that you want to live, and the way that you want to earn money with who you want to make money with who you want to. You can literally build your perfect lifestyle with what you do and with who you want to do it with. And I just think that I did it completely wrong, and me feeling so bad just completely threw over everything in my life, from personal life to business to training to my inspiration to everything else. So if this feels like a bit of a chaos, it's because it is. It's so tough to talk about. But I would really recommend you to take, if this is something that is building a bone and you run in the same hole, take a step back and run through everything. Don't just take 3 weeks just to sleep or come back and then you just filled up and then you go into the same bill again. You want to change something, pick the root up and burn it, okay? Take through it, really dive down. For me, I was at a big spa in Budapest as well, and it was just completely silent. Beautiful. I had my notebook with me, and I just wrote in it. Wrote. Went back, stepped on it, wrote. Streamlined, set up it, made it structure in my computers afterwards. When all my thoughts and my process and my things, where was I not happy in life? Here. Where did I do many things wrong? Do many things overlap. And then when you get back home, initiate. But don't go back and think that 3 weeks of just chilling, doing nothing, will give you uh the change to make change when you go back. That will not happen, because what will happen is that you will get back home, you will get overwhelmed by the reality of everything is shit again, and you will get back to your own routines, back to the old setup, and you will need a vacation soon again, and you will have the same routine over and over again. And if there's one thing in life, we're not afraid of issues. We just don't want to have the same issues over and over again. If we're still talking about you wanting to lose weight after 8 years, and it's the same thing day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, or the same issue that you haven't solved or figured out your shit on something, give me a break. Fix it, get some new and bigger issues to talk about. And don't get stuck on the same issues and use 40 years of your life talking about that one person who wasn't the one. Way more time for them. Get like some new people to talk about, or this one thing that you've been struggling with for the last 8 years, or you haven't solved this thing, or pick up the root, fix it, get some new issues and some big issues to talk about. Trust me, you will get through life with many more things done, way less stressful, and you will way quicker find out who you want to be and how you want to go through life. So that is my shit talk for today on everything Asger. Hopefully that is purposeful. And if you want to hear more, you can follow me here. This is the only place, also on Apple and everything like that, that you'll be able to find it. And yeah, so hopefully you got something out of it. And if not, I will just talk to you next time.